you've already lost it. Not a person, not a place, a moment. The single most important moment of your entire life. And it's gone. Completely. Permanently. And the strangest part, you had no idea it was happening. We spend so much time trying to capture life. Photos, videos, journals, voice memos at 2 a.m. As if we know, somehow, that memory is unreliable, that things slip. But here's what nobody tells you. Your brain doesn't forget randomly. It forgets deliberately. It chooses what stays and what disappears. And it has been making that choice without your permission since the day you were born, which means somewhere in your past, buried under decades of ordinary Tuesdays and forgettable conversations, there is a moment that changed everything about who you became, and you cannot remember it. The question is, why? Here's what your brain does with experience. Every moment you live doesn't get recorded. It gets reconstructed. Your hippocampus tags incoming events by emotional intensity, novelty, and survival relevance. High emotion, stored with detail. Low emotion, compressed, forgotten. But here's the problem with that system. Significance and emotion are not the same thing. A moment can be quietly significant. No fear, no joy spike, no drama. Just a subtle rewiring of how you see the world. A sentence someone said, a door you walked through, a decision that felt small. Those moments, your brain files them under unremarkable. And unremarkable things get deleted first. So the very mechanism designed to protect your most important memories has a blind spot. And that blind spot is precisely where your most defining moments live. Think about the person you are right now. Your fears, your values, the things you find beautiful, the things that make you flinch. Now ask yourself, when did those start? You probably can't name it. Most people point to something obvious, a trauma, a success, a relationship. But neuroscience keeps finding something far more uncomfortable. The moments we remember most clearly are rarely the ones that shaped us most deeply. There's a concept in developmental psychology called the critical period. It's a window, early in life, where the brain is almost liquid, hyperplastic, connections forming at a rate that will never happen again. And during this window, experience doesn't just influence you, it builds you. The attachment pattern you formed before age 3, the way your earliest caretaker responded to your hunger, your fear, your silence, that pattern became the template for every relationship you've had since. You don't remember it. You were too young. The brain structure required for conscious memory, the prefrontal cortex, fully integrated episodic recall. It wasn't online yet, but the lesson was already written. This is called infantile amnesia. And it's not a glitch. It's the architecture. The foundation was poured before you had the tools to watch it happen. But it goes further than childhood. Research on implicit memory, memory that operates below conscious awareness, shows that we carry thousands of micro-experiences we have no verbal record of. A tone of voice, a pattern of abandonment, a moment of unexpected kindness from a stranger when you were 7, in a waiting room, and you never spoke about it again. These experiences don't exist in your story, but they exist in your behavior. They show up in who you trust, in how you handle silence, in what makes you inexplicably sad on a Tuesday in October. What if the reason you can't remember the most important moment of your life is exactly what made it so powerful? Conscious memory is narrative. It needs a beginning, a middle, an end. It needs you to be present, watching, interpreting. But the deepest change doesn't announce itself. It moves underneath language, underneath awareness. It rewires first and explains itself later, if at all. You didn't witness the moment that made you. You became it. Hermann Ebbinghaus mapped the shape of forgetting in 1885. Within 24 hours, we lose roughly 70% of new information. Within a week, most of it is gone. But memory researchers since then have found something Ebbinghaus missed. Emotion doesn't just help us remember. It distorts what we remember. The events you think you remember most clearly, the ones with the sharpest detail, the most vivid color, are often the least accurate. High emotion moments trigger the amygdala, which feels like it's burning the memory in permanently. But that intensity also introduces noise, gaps, fabrications your brain fills in later without telling you. What this means is devastating if you sit with it long enough. The memories you trust most are the least reliable, and the moments that actually moved you, the quiet, structuring ones, left almost no trace you can consciously access. Your autobiography is missing its most important chapters, and you wrote the rest of the book around those gaps without knowing they were there. Now here's the part that should change something. If you can't remember the moment that shaped you most, then who exactly are you being right now? Because the fears you carry, the walls you keep, the patterns you repeat, many of them are responses to something you have no access to. You're living out an answer to a question you can't recall being asked. That's not weakness. That's just neuroscience. That's just being human. But it opens something. Because if the moment that built you happened without your awareness, then new moments are happening right now in the same quiet way. This conversation, this thought, the thing someone said to you last week that you've almost forgotten already. You don't get to know which one matters most. None of us do. We spend so much energy trying to remember who we were so we can explain who we are. But maybe the most important moments of a life are supposed to be invisible, not because they don't matter, but because they matter too much to be reduced to a memory you can replay. They become you instead. Somewhere in your past, without fanfare, without a camera, without you even noticing, something happened. And because of it, you are exactly the person sitting here right now, watching this, feeling whatever you're feeling. You can't find the moment, but you can look at yourself and know it happened.